Hello, longboarding mom. Today we are gonna make homemade lasagna. I make a homemade sauce that I got the recipe from my sister probably 20 years ago. And my daughter's grandma, she's Italian. She taught me how to make homemade manicotti, which I'll show you guys how to make that one day with kind of the sauce that I make for my spaghetti and lasagna. It is delicious. I probably look like a mess. I just got done longboarding today. It's a beautiful day. Um, it is probably raining now because they said it was going to rain, and here comes those clouds, right? So I got my longboarding in just in time. I went to the library and back so I could read stories for my baby Bean. I have a baby Bean story time, and I'm Grandma Cookie on that channel. And I was thinking about changing my name because I haven't longboarded in so long. I had to dust the cobwebs off my longboard. It's been probably over a year. So I was like, can I be longboarding mom still if I'm not longboarding? And maybe I should be called longboarding grandma now because now I'm a grandma. But who knows? Should I change my name or not? I don't know. But anyway, we're going to get started on this lasagna. First, the homemade sauce, and then I'm going to show you how to put it all together. I am going to saute my veggies first with some oil. No, whoa, with some butter. A little bit of butter and a little bit of oil. We're going to get that turned on to a medium heat. I've got it on 5. And get this melted, and we're going to add our bell peppers first, and then our onion and garlic. In the big pan there, I've got water for my lasagna noodles. This pan over here, I'm going to do my hamburger meat and make my sauce in. I had so much fun today longboarding. It has been a while since I have gone, and if you watch the video, you'll see that I hit some rocks and flew forward. That's why I practice jumping off my board so that I can run if I fall off. I've only once have fallen. I was when I first learned, I was turning a corner and fell off my board, and I was so glad I was wearing my wrist guards because I hit my palm right here, and I need my hands for work. That's why I wear all the gear I wear, because I can't get hurt. I've got to work still. I think the older you get, you learn that stuff. You think about, what if I get hurt? Can I still work type stuff? And so when I get back on my board, I get a little scared sometimes after not being on it in a while. But today I actually got on it and I did really well. I was very confident. And I can't wait to teach my baby Bean had a longboard. I got her mom's longboard here, actually. We let other people use it, like Stuart's friends and stuff have all learned how to longboard on her longboard. Thank you, Alyssa. Have you ever just turned on the wrong burner and was waiting for something to melt and it wasn't melting? That just happened. Okay, got it melted. Gonna dump. Get all the veggies in the pan. My daughter calls this a sweet sauce when you add the red and yellow to the green bell pepper. We're going to get this sauteing up, and once it gets a little soft, we will add the onion and garlic to it to soften those up as well. I always do the bell peppers first because they take a little bit longer. Since I cut them small, but the onions I cut small as well, they just cook faster than the bell peppers. I'm going to add that onion now. This has probably been a couple minutes. I keep pausing in between. Onion. And my garlic. I'm going to do, that's organic garlic from, just dropped it. So simple truth on it, I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. Okay. 2 heaping teaspoons. It says we've made it easy to incorporate garlic into all of your favorite recipes without any of the prep. Use a half teaspoon for each clove of garlic. So that would be 4 cloves of garlic right there. I really do like my garlic. When I'm not feeling good, I will cut up a clove of garlic. So dice it up like that and kind of don't chew it. You just swallow it whole like a pill. And you will sweat out whatever illness you have. Garlic is so good for you. Unless you're allergic to it. There are people that are allergic to it. So I'm going to let that saute up a little bit longer, and we are going to drain it on some paper towels because we don't want all that oil in our spaghetti sauce, lasagna sauce. the aroma that is coming from that steam. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. Yum, yum, yum. I adjusted my camera just a bit so that you can see. I'm just going to dump this right onto a paper plate and the paper towel to drain that oil. The vegetables are soft. I don't want them brown. I want them soft because they're going to go in the sauce and they are going to marry and soften even more. Sorry about the lighting. Oop. Okay. Missed some of the paper towel. Oh well, it will still soak it up. Okay, let's make that yummy red sauce. I've got my last pound of hamburger in my pot here. I'm going to add some seasonings to it. I can't believe I don't have any more. I've got to go to Cash and Carry and get a big roast and grind some more up. And maybe I'll show you guys what I do. So this is the burner I turned on last time. I'm going to turn this on and get it warmed up. Yes, I should have turned it on first before I put the meat in there. That's okay. I add some granulated onion to it. And I don't measure, so I'm going to add probably a quarter of a teaspoon because I'm going to add this stuff later as well. I just like to season my meat. So I've got some Italian seasoning, and that was probably a half a teaspoon. Some tarragon seasoning, and if you take it out and kind of pinch it and rub it around a little bit, it wakes up the flavors more because the dry ingredients just dries everything out. But you know, heating it up and breaking it up, it really wakes up those flavors. So I always do that. And add some Lowry seasoning salt. Again, I don't know how much. It's probably a quarter of a teaspoon. And I know I always add Mrs. Dash to everything. Just a little bit, not a lot. That goes a long ways. And some granulated garlic. Whoops. I like the sprinkle side. A little bit more than the onion. We're going to fry this up, and I'll come back in a second and show you guys what I add to it next. It's on about medium high, between 6 and 7. I'm going to move it to 7. It's still pink, but it's browning up nicely. A few more minutes. And see all that oil in there? Just a little bit. I need to drain that off, and I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. My first step, I open up all the cans I need. I've got tomato paste. I always use a knife to get it out. I scrape that into the pan. And then to that, I'm going to add too much, about a tablespoon of that. I forgot to rub it around, but that's okay. I'm going to use the heat to heat it back up. So what we are doing is we're bringing out the tomato flavor out of that paste. We're waking it back up again. We're waking up those seasonings. I'm going to add 1 can of petite diced tomatoes. Be very careful opening those. They are sharp. You don't want to cut yourself. I'm going to stir that around for just a couple minutes. Okay, to this we are going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. We're going to add some water to this, but not quite yet. And we are actually going to add pasta water to it to help it stick to the noodles and stuff. That's what the pasta water does. It helps the sauce stick to the noodles. Okay, so I've got the Italian seasoning in there. We are going to add, again, some onion to that. Some garlic to that. Whoops. Don't want to pour in too much. Oh, turn it down so it doesn't lava volcano on you. You know when you forget to turn your spaghetti sauce down and it splatters everywhere? Okay, so garlic. Interrupted by whoops, earthquake. No, I'm kidding. I hit my camera stand. I got interrupted by a phone call. This is like all my sauteed veggies. And we're going to stir this in, and we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. And we are going to let this simmer for a couple hours. I'm going to grate up the mozzarella cheese and my smoky cheese. I don't use, when I make my lasagna, I don't use traditional cheeses. I just use what I want to use. And you can too. That's the fun about cooking. So I'm going to use a smoky cheese, mozzarella cheese, and I've got some Parmesan cheese in there. That's probably it. So we're going to let this simmer a while. Oh, I got to add that sugar. The sugar, I'm not sure exactly what it does. It takes out the acidity or something, because I'm using the canned tomatoes and stuff. They are more acidic, I think. I don't know. I don't know what the secret is, but there is a secret to that sugar. Maybe somebody can comment below and tell me what that secret is. So let me add that sugar, let it simmer, and we'll come back in a couple hours and put this lasagna together. I'll boil some noodles and stuff for you. Always try your sauces too. I'm going to get a spoon here. Now, it's not going to be married together, but then this way I can tell if I need more seasoning or salt. I didn't add any salt. Maybe I need salt. I don't need salt. I don't like salt. You could add your own salt. Yum. Well, once that's all married together. Yum. My pot is coming to a boil. These are my lasagna noodles. Winco. That's where I shop. I do not need the whole box. I just add them one at a time, a couple at a time. Kind of stagger them a little bit. They'll sink in, and we will let these come to a boil and cook. Whoops, 8 to 10 minutes. That was loud, sorry. I do almost all of them, but like 4 probably. Yep, there's 3 in there. And I probably won't even use all of these. But once we get these all in there, we'll set the timer for about 9 minutes. And then we'll drain, we'll save some of that water to put in our sauce. About a half a cup. It's thickened up quite nicely, but I don't want it that thick. So I'm going to add about a half a cup of this water to it. And then drain it, and we will put it together with all the cheese I grated and some olives I cut. Yum. Don't let me forget that Parmesan cheese. I can't forget that. Okay, let's let this boil. You want to make sure they're not sticking to the bottom, so stir them. Make sure they're not sticking together. I should have added salt to the pasta water. I'm going to add some now. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. I drained my pasta. I'm going to add a little bit of this, not all of it. That was probably 1/4 of a cup. We're going to loosen up that sauce. And that's going to help it stick to the noodles better. Okay, just a little bit more. Didn't cool my sauce down at all. We are going to get some pot holders out to put this hot sauce on. I've got my noodles in the sink. I've rinsed them with some cold water so they don't stick together. Let's put this lasagna together. It's almost time for dinner. I like to make my lasagna in 2 different pans because if I make it in a big 9 by 13 pan, I will not eat all of the lasagna. Tongue twister, isn't it? So I make it in 2 pans and I freeze one, or you can give one away. Sometimes I get the pans from Dollar Tree, the aluminum ones that you can throw away. You make stuff and throw away. So I do that, and I have actually cut them in half and put them in my seal-a-meal and seal-a-mealed them, and they've lasted a lot longer. This one I'm just going to cover with saran wrap and then foil, and it will last about a month, a little bit longer, but usually I cook them within a month. So to get started, you take some of that wonderful sauce, and it still looks really, really, really thick, doesn't it? I saved some of that. So we are gonna loosen it up some more. We don't want it too wet though, because then it will just run right out of the noodles. So, oh, I almost forgot something. I forgot the ricotta cheese. The best part. Well, it's not the best part. My son doesn't really like the ricotta cheese anyway. But usually you take the ricotta cheese and you whip up an egg in there, and I add some parsley to it. You put that in between the layers. I have done this once before, and we have added different cottage cheeses to it. I don't have cottage cheese. I think I might try a little bit of sour cream in it. What do you think? So what I'm doing here is you take a little bit of the sauce and you put it on the bottom. Oh, I forgot to spray these. So I'm gonna spray the sides at least, but this will help it from sticking on the bottom. I hate it when you forget an ingredient to something. Whoops. That's not really spraying very well. It's almost out. Okay, so pretend I sprayed first and then I put the sauce on there. So anyway, that's what happens when you longboard and you're tired. I haven't longboarded in a long time. I cut my noodles to fit. I'll just kind of hang that to the side because we'll use that one later. And I overlap them just a little bit there. I can't believe I forgot my ricotta cheese. I think the reason why I didn't buy any was because they didn't have the smaller containers at Winco like they normally do. So to make them even, I make them both at the same time because I don't like to have one with not enough cheese because I've used it all on the one lasagna. Usually my noodles are super hot when I'm doing this. I've let them cool down quite a bit. Okay, so we are going to show you the layers here. I'm going to add some sauce. I do a scoop per noodle. I've actually have ran out of cheese before and had to grade more. You never know when you're making lasagna how much you're going to use of everything. That's a lot. I'm going to add the cheese. Let's stick my scissors there. Kitchen shears are nice to have. So this is mozzarella and smoked Colby Jack cheese. So that's the white and yellow cheese together. I can smell the smoky cheese. Yum. He really smoked it good this time. And some olives. And I have, this is my Parmesan cheese. Normally I like to grate my cheese because I don't like that cellulose stuff they put in it. It's wood pulp. So you're basically eating wood pulp. And if you're from Oregon and Washington, you know where that wood pulp comes from. So this actually is made in America. It's Parmesan cheese, pasteurized milk, cheese culture, salt, enzymes, potato starch added to prevent caking. So I got this at Winco. It's a 2.5 pound bag. I just made little bags in Ziploc baggies. I think I did 1.5 cups each. So I got 5 of them out of there. So, and I've already used some of it on some other meals. We're gonna sprinkle some on both of those lasagnas. And this one, I need a spoon. I'm gonna stir this around. I don't have a lot of sour cream left in here, so I'm gonna just do it on half or a quarter. Let's do it on a corner. I'm gonna try it on a corner so nobody else gets any of it. Nobody else gets any of it. So just a corner. I'm just gonna do, and I'll mark it so hopefully I get that one. I'm gonna do a little bit of sour cream. Got everything on there. Now we're gonna layer it again. See, it's kind of stuck together, but it didn't stick too bad because we rinsed it off. Lasagna number 1, lasagna number 2. This one will go in the freezer. I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator, let it cool all the way, and then I'll cover it and put it in the freezer. I need to mark that one. I'm going to put a toothpick right there. A toothpick right there. So I know that is the piece that I'm going to eat that has the sour cream on it. That is all my leftover noodles. Look at that. I knew, and I do this every time I make lasagna, that I don't need the whole package. That's a lot of lasagna right there. This makes 4 meals for us. My husband and I will eat it for dinner. We'll have it for lunch. Again, I give some away too. So let's preheat the oven to 350 to 375, depending on how fast you want to cook it. I'm gonna do 350. My husband's gonna be home shortly. I really think I need to eat something. I start tongue-tying my words. He had to work late today. He's working on my car. After my long trip, it had a little bit of an oil leak, and so they are changing the valve gasket. So please, everybody, pray that it all works out fine. I hate breaking into motors. This is, my new car, and I've only had it for a year. So we caught it early. That's good. We're going to get it fixed. Let's get these in the oven as soon as that oven is preheated. My oven is preheated to 350. I'm going to put it in the oven for 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. What we're looking for is this top to be melted, ooey gooey, and a little golden brown. On the middle shelf. We'll be gonna let it cool and set for just about 10 minutes, and then we'll cut into it. That is the part with the sour cream. Cutting into the lasagna. This is the side that has that sour cream in it. Hold on. I missed a noodle. Right. That is the lasagna. I'm going to take that out. And get a good bite. I don't think that sour cream did anything to it. I don't see it anywhere. I think it just soaked right in probably. Oh, my bite's falling apart. Ah. Okay. That cheesy bite right there. Mmm. My grandbaby taught me sign language. That means more. Mmm. That is so good. The only thing it needs is the ricotta cheese. But if you don't like it, it doesn't need it. Yum. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.